Hey guys! Alright, so I am either going to really regret this or this is going to be planned out perfect. So I am so honored that Taylor invited me to hop on here and share a little bit of my heart with you, and she actually asked me to start talking with you about really a topic I've never had the opportunity to actually talk about. So bye-bye. Really, bye-bye, say hi. Which is basically my story and, you know, some of the struggles that I think that as a leader, a lot of the times we don't talk about. So, like I said, I'm either gonna really regret this, hey girl, hey Liz, because I have been running around like crazy all morning, which I think is one thing that you need to know, that like, my life is total chaos between the things that I have no control over and between the things that, you know, maybe I do have a little bit more control over, but my life literally is crazy right now, and so this was the only window that I have, and so I'm like, I'm just gonna do it. And so I fed my 3.5-year-old and I put him on the computer because he will probably ask me questions about poop and all kinds of other stuff. You want me to hold you now? So my daughter is kind of like that girl that's like, feed me and tell me I'm pretty. So I'm feeding her, and now she's probably gonna want me to hold her, which I can totally hold her during this, but I wanted to be hands-free because I am extremely, like, I get real passionate. So, hey baby, that's why I'm giving you food. Because I'm like, my nanny left for the day. She leaves at 2, which I planned on doing this video at 1, which obviously it is not 1. So, see, rule number 1, just be prepared that your plan is not gonna work. So anyways, Taylor had asked me to hop on here. I hope you can, this is gonna be like different than any other video I've ever done, any other training. And I really want to put a really cute bow on her and make her look super cute, but here we are. Okay, you say hi? So I'm gonna try to concentrate and just share what's on my heart. So, oh my gosh. I don't really want to get into my entire story because I don't think that that's it. I just want you to know that I feel like it is something that we don't talk about enough, is the struggles. And I think oftentimes what happens is you see baby, you see people being successful and you don't see their struggles. And so it almost creates an illusion that things are easy for them, or you know, things come easier, or they're just better than you, or they're prettier than you, or they have more money than you, or their spouse supports them more, or whatever excuse, or not even excuse, but whatever thing that we start to compare to. No, Dylan, you can't have any of this. This, by the way, is a pre-workout drink at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I sprained my ankle on Monday, so I'm not working at all. I got this just in case. I'm not working out, but I still need this drink. Like, it helps me get through my day. Here, want to do that? Okay. So maybe you'll be able to hear me. So anyways, I feel like success oftentimes is an illusion for others looking from the outside looking in, and you can't see inside somebody's life. And I think it's really important to be honest with people, but yet what I oftentimes refer to as turning your mess into your message. Because I think oftentimes what happens is it all looks so pretty on social media, and it all looks so pretty when you get to see somebody standing on a stage, or, you know, collecting some kind of like the crown or whatever, you know, some kind of a reward. And what you don't see is the stuff behind the scenes. So Taylor had kind of asked if I would hop on here and maybe just share a little bit of the stuff that, like, really probably nobody wants to talk about, right? So I always, and I want to start this by saying the reason, you know, I think, oh baby, I think it's important to share your mess, because your mess is a message for other people. And I hope maybe a little bit of the stuff that I share with you today is that you know that I got a big mess. Well, first of all, we're living with my parents. Long story, we moved across the country last year, and we thought we had our life all planned out perfectly, how it would work, and God had other plans, and our plans just did not work. We finally closed on a house by the grace of God, having like down to the dollar, and then it flooded 4 weeks after we bought it, a couple weeks after she was born. And so we've been living with my parents for like a year and a half. My mother would absolutely kill me if she knew I was in a video in her kitchen with dirty dishes in the sink. Like, this is our little secret, y'all. So, but like I said, this is literally my only window to do this video, and so we're just winging it, right? So back to the whole mess to message. I think it's really important to embrace that we all have messes, right? We all have life that happens. We all have bad things that happen. Like, our finances completely did a 180 last year. My husband, you know, the job that he had lined up didn't get it. Our insurance ran out. Our housing situation changed. The houses that we offered, like on 5 houses, all those fell through. Our finances were just in a bad spot. We only had one. I mean, I could go on, right? But you all have troubles, right? You all have messes. You all have things that you're trying to work through in life. And so I think the beauty of our business is that we can turn our messes into messages, and we can turn our trials into triumphs, and we can turn, we can be a victim maybe, but we can become a victor, and we can share that hopefully to inspire other people. Do you want to walk? Do you want to sit down? Do you want to stand? And I will tell you what, motherhood is really hard. Motherhood has like rocked my world the last month and a half, 2 months, like to the point where I'm like, am I supposed to be a mother? Because this is like, I don't think I'm very good at it. So, if any of you were there, you are not alone. So, I want to encourage you today that if you see somebody who is, you know, the success that myself and a lot of girls on my team and a lot of people that you watch on social media that you know, we've seen, it's been really fast, like really fast. And I am so absolutely grateful for it, but I also don't want to ever give the illusion that this is easy, or that I don't struggle with self-doubt, and I don't struggle with self-confidence, and I don't struggle with organization, and I don't struggle with time management and being a mother and having mom guilt and having all these other goals. And maybe, you know, maybe I set my goals too high, or, you know, maybe I'm not setting my goals high enough, and maybe I'm ignoring my husband too much, or maybe I'm ignoring my kids too much, or maybe I'm being selfish because I actually want to make more money. You know, there are so many different things that building a business is hard, right? There are things about it that's really hard. And again, I think when you see a promotion, you're like, oh, this girl, she signed up on, you know, December 19th and, you know, had a $1.4 million team in 3 months, sponsored 125 qualified distributors in 3 months. And then, you know, and I don't say any of this to brag, but I say it because it all looks really pretty. And what you don't see is the mess behind it, right? Until I share it. And so I hope I'll share a little bit of stuff with you today so that you know that we all got messes. We all have a mess, but our messes can be turned into something really good for other people and a message for others to learn from and to grow. And I truly believe that everything that happens to us is for a bigger purpose. It's for a better purpose. So a couple things that I've learned along the way with entrepreneur life is that, you know, you have to set your goals high, right? You don't want to set them because you want to set them high enough to where you are going for them. You're trying to achieve them. But you also don't want to beat yourself up if you don't achieve it in the time. So I want you to embrace this saying that has just changed everything for me. Delayed is not denied. And so maybe some of you right now are being delayed in your what I call God-sized dreams. I have no clue where my 10-month-old is, like crawling around the house. I might have to go find her. I do hear my 3-year-old telling her hi. Delayed is not denied. And I think something that, you know, the accolades and the crazy success that I have seen in SeneGence over the last 9 months. I just had my 9-month anniversary a couple days ago, and to have a team who has sold almost $7 million and have a downline of almost 1,900 girls and a few brave men, right, is absolutely incredible, and it's crazy. But what a lot of you maybe didn't see is the 3 years prior that I spent learning how to build an online business and how to build relationships with people successfully online, and how to, I had so many failures, and I still have failures every single day, every single week, whether they're internal, whether they are with the business, right? And so every Thursday in my last business, I cried, and I could cry right now because I wanted nothing more than to be successful and to be the girl that other people wanted to learn from and inspire people. And I wanted to make some big money, and I wanted to be able to do that, to be a light for Jesus. And I just didn't get it. Every single week, it was just like a slap in the face sometimes, because what I was going for, it just wasn't working. But the one thing that I never stopped doing is I never stopped dreaming, and I never stopped believing that the God-sized dreams that I have on my heart, and I told myself I wouldn't cry in this, were possible. And I know there are so many of you struggling right now because you have these goals and you have these dreams and you have these big ideas where you want to take this business and what this business could do for you and your family and your friends and other people outside of it. Hopefully you're not just keeping it to your family and you're thinking, well, you know what nonprofit could I partner with and just start helping or whatever. And so, but you're being delayed. Your promises that I truly believe that all those desires that God puts on your heart, He wants to give you. He just wants to give you it in your own time. And it just so happened that SeneGence is my time. And part of that is beautiful, and for me to know the struggle that I had the 3 years prior, that I never gave up hope, and I always still showed up in my business every single day, even whether my paycheck didn't show it or my my title and my recognition didn't show it. I still showed up, and I still believed that God wanted to give me the desires of my heart, which is to supplement my income, my husband's income, and to bring him home, and then to pursue other dreams that I have, like our faith-based apparel line, and we have a renovation home company to help people, underprivileged people, and we have all kinds of God-sized dreams on our heart. And I know God wants to give me those. I just know that a lot of the times they're going to be a little bit delayed. And I want you to know, if your dreams and your goals in this business are being delayed, that does not mean that they are being denied. It just means it's not your time right now. So when you see somebody else's successes, don't think that they haven't gone through some crap, right? Because I have spent, almost 4 years waiting for my big break, right? Waiting for my name to be in lights. And I don't know if any of you know the song. I think it's Lauren Daigle. I don't need my name in lights. I'm famous in my Father's eyes. I used to play that every single Thursday and just cry like a baby sitting at my desk, like, oh my gosh, I don't need my name in lights. I'm famous in my Father's eyes, because I just kept thinking, like, dear God, like, why can I not get my name in lights? And I honestly will tell you, now that I've got a little taste of the name in lights, I don't really like it. I really don't like it. I don't like it, because I feel like there's this expectation to be like this person that has all these secrets. I really feel like I should probably go find my child. I know she's not like talking, but I feel like there's this expectation that I have to be like perfect. And I am so far from perfect. What are you doing? What are you doing, Mama? I'm just gonna stand here because I'm just gonna keep going with this. Oh, my mom would kill me if she knew I was walking through her house doing a live video. But anyways, I just want you to know that your promises, if they're delayed, they're delayed. It does not mean denied, okay? So the other thing I want you to know is comparison is the thief of joy. It is the thief of joy, right? And I have shared this with a few people, and thief of joy, right? Yeah, you don't want to compare yourself to other people, because what happens is the enemy gets in your mind and he starts making you feel like you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not talented enough, you're not whatever. You can fill in the blank. I'm not blank enough, right? And whatever you fill in there, if you start thinking that and comparing to other people who have other gifts, you're going to start feeling inferior. Like, come here, Mama. Like, you can't be all that you were created to be. And so I shared this with a few other people that on the day that I got Crown Princess, I spent the day actually, oh, my ankle. Oh, Mama. I actually spent the day scrolling through the Crown Princess page and comparing myself to other people, feeling like, you know, on the day that, you know, I finally got to a promotion and a rank, what are you doing, that I really was excited about and that I wanted so bad. You just want to crawl? You're like, don't keep me stable, right? I compared myself to all these other beautiful, amazing, talented, gorgeous, fun, and genuine women in our company. And I felt the worst on the day that I actually should have been feeling great. And you know what happened when I turned queen just a few weeks ago? It wasn't a comparison thing, but it was I was feeling so overwhelmed. Like, can I keep this up? Like, you know, like, can I keep up all of this hard work? Because honestly, there are days that I don't feel like I can. And so I just want you to know that if you're comparing to other people in this business, stop doing that. Flowers don't compare with other flowers. They don't look at the other flower and think, oh, it just bloomed, you know, and admire it. You can admire somebody else's beauty without forgetting your own. And I truly believe that we all have a gift and we all have a purpose and we all have a plan being in this business. And there are some people in this business that you're going to reach that I'm not going to reach. And there are some people in this business that I'm going to reach that you're not going to reach. And once you really get outside yourself and realize that this is so much more than amazing cosmetics, right? It's so much more than selling skincare and makeup, which our products are incredible. I have never, oh baby girl, I tell you what guys, my favorite saying is not today Satan, right? Not today Satan. I'm just gonna keep going. But when you realize that this business can do so much more for others and you can do so much more for other people besides sell them products, that is when the magic really happens in this business. And you have to realize, what are your strengths? What are your gifts? What are your talents? What are you designed to do? What's your purpose, right? And goodness gracious, we need makeup artists. We need someone to be able to tell me, you know, how exactly are you supposed to, like, how do you contour? Like, what? I don't know. So we need those people, and those people have it. Like Katie Enos, she's amazing, right? And I admire her. I've compared myself to her, and I'm like, well, I'm not a makeup artist, so probably not going to do as well as her in this business, right? But that's not it. And that's why with this business, you know, like, there is enough, there's enough people to go around, and there's enough, I always say, there's room at the top for everyone, right? See you at the top, boo. Like, just come with me. I'm going to work hard, you're going to work hard, and we're all going to get there together. So don't compare yourself to other people, because your purpose and your plan on this earth is different than mine. And it should look different, because if we're both doing the same thing, then why on earth would God have created both of us, right? So don't compare yourself. And I have done it plenty of times, and I still have to literally stop myself sometimes and do it. Oh my gosh, she's like, y'all. Hi, yeah, you're taking a step for the ladies. Look, she's learning how to walk. Sorry, guys, I'm just like running with this. Yay, Dilly Boo, good girl. Y'all got to see her take some of her first steps. So I'm trying to talk to the ladies. Yeah, so this is really what my life looks like, right? So when you think it looks all like great, it's really not. So, and I mean, it's great life, don't get me wrong, but oh my gosh, it's crazy, it's chaos. So that was my other thing I want to talk with you about, is don't compare yourself to other people. And all of those goals and those dreams that you have, hold on, Dylan, I'm gonna have to get your pacifier. I truly believe that you're gonna get them. You're just gonna get them in your own time. So I did make some notes over here, back to where I originally wanted to do this video. So I wanna go back here so I can stay on track. Oh my goodness. See, not today, Satan, right? Dilly Boo, come here. This is another tip for you. Control the controllables, right? Dylan, come here. Okay, so that's another thing. You guys, this is real life, okay? Taylor, you asked for it, girl. You asked for it. So I want you to know, control the controllables, right? There are so many things that are going to happen in your life. There are so many things that are going to happen in your business, with your family, with your job, with your business here with SeneGence, right? There's so many things that are going to happen out of your control. And you have two things. You can react to it and let it totally ruin whatever, you know, you're gonna react to it, right? But your reaction is a choice. And so control the controllables. And the only thing that you can actually control in life is yourself and your action and your attitude towards something. So when your customer wants to return the product because they just are being belligerent and they are not following your instructions to like not go back and forth, and they're like don't want to go through the exfoliation process, you know what, just accept it and just let them return it, right? It's probably easier for you just to like let it go. So when your spouse doesn't support you in this business because you are spending way too much time on the computer or your phone and he just doesn't get it, you know, you can only control the controllables. Don't get angry. Like, sit down and have a talk with him and do it in like, you know, don't initially you're like, I'm doing this for you, baby, right? Like that's initially the thought is like, don't you realize like I'm doing this for you? And yeah, okay. No, you don't want to? You don't want to lay down? So, control the controllables. Like when your child doesn't want you to lay her down for her nap ever, because this child does not sleep, not even at night. She still nurses all throughout the night. Control the controllables. She's lucky she's like really cute, right? Control the controllables. That's all you can control, right? So, baby girl, you are just, don't compare. Delayed is not denied. Control the controllables. Here's another one. You can do anything. You can do anything you want to do. The Bible says I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, right? You can do anything, but you cannot do everything. You can't do everything, and so you have to be realistic with yourself, and you have to realize what are you good at, what can you do, and what can you delegate, right? What can you delegate? What can you give to other people to do? And if you're not making that kind of money yet, which I understand, I have been there too, then take some stuff off your plate and be realistic with yourself and set some expectations to yourself. What do you want, sweetheart? What do you want? Huh? You're reaching for something. What do you, more? No, I can't give you more. I'm gonna need, this is gonna be wine here in a minute. So, no, in this business, you can do anything, but you cannot do everything. And I promise you, even myself, that you might see, oh my gosh, okay, so she now has Facebook, and then she has a business page, and she has a group, and now she's doing Instagram more consistently, and oh my gosh, now she's creating this apparel. Oh my gosh, now she is doing, she's doing a blog, and she has a website, and she has a YouTube channel, and she has, and then you start to think, I have to do all of those things. I have to do all of those things, right? Because I've been there before where you're like, oh my gosh, she's doing all of this. I've looked at it. Look at Jaylyn, her website. Look at Katie. Look at, there's so many girls that I've looked at, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Tawny. I'm like, they have these awesome websites, and they have all these things, right? I can promise you, they did not start out there. They didn't start out there, and neither did I. And it's been a slow, long process to get here, but I am delegating. I am paying people to do these other things because I know that I can do anything, but I can't do everything. And I have to figure, what am I good at? What am I not good at? Where is my time the most valuable? And for me, that's in building relationships with people. That's in building relationships with my team, and that's in building relationships with my potential team, and that's in building relationships with customers, and that's in just sharing my true purpose, why I'm on this earth, is my faith. So you know, you can do anything, but you can't do everything. So do not compare yourself to other people who seem like they've got it all together, and like, how on earth did they do all these like social media platforms and all of these other things? I promise you, they're probably delegating. They are not probably, like they are delegating. They're probably paying someone to do these other things. So start with what you got. No, everybody starts as a beginner, right? Nobody starts as a professional, right? Everyone starts as a beginner. So the next thing that I wanted to touch on is to fill your cup. I don't care what is in your cup. I don't judge. I am very faith-filled, but I like a martini and I like a glass of wine. And I like my pre-workout drink. So yes, I drink. And whatever you're gonna fill your cup pop up with, you've got to fill your cup. Sometimes building a business can make you feel like you're on an island, right? Sometimes motherhood can make you feel like you're on an island. And when you're alone and you're on this island, you're constantly pouring out to other people. You are pouring out to your family, you're pouring out to your team, you're pouring out to your customers, you're pouring out to your daytime job. You're trying to figure all of these things out, and at the end of the day, who is left empty? And it's you. And then you're wondering why you're not motivated the next morning to get up and do this all over again, right? Because you're tired. And if you don't fill your tank, whether that's your cup and drinking, or you don't fill your tank to make your car go, you are going to be tired. And there's no magic pill for that, like, right? You have to fill up your cup. And for those of you, what I mean by that, I don't literally mean drinking something. I mean filling up your mental and emotional cup. What are you pouring into your mind every day? Is it positive? Do you have somebody that's uplifting you every day? And I realized that the other day. I was like, you know what? You know, I talk to my sponsor, and I love my sponsor, but we don't talk nearly as much as we both would like. We're both crazy busy. We both have, you know, multi-million-dollar teams and life and other businesses and kids and a husband and houses and all of that other stuff. And I realized I need a mentor, and I need a mentor outside of SeneGence, because I need somebody to fill up my cup that is, you know, not really, that doesn't really get this business, but that can just truly fill up my motherhood cup, my wife cup, my business-minded cup, right? But no one specific to the business. So I want to encourage you to find somebody to fill your cup, and then you also need to be filling up your own cup, right? You need to be putting positive messages into your mind every day, because we are bombarded with negativity every single day, whether that's on social media, whether that's on the news, whether that is walking into a store. I mean, you have stood in line before and heard somebody just talking negatively behind you, and those to me stick out a lot, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I don't live with that person, right? But even though we might not be saying those things to ourselves, but when we hear those things, it just naturally sinks into our mind. And those are the things that start to be regurgitated over and over. And so, hi baby, I want to encourage you to make sure that you are like doubling up the negativity with positivity, right? Every negative thing that you hear, you need to, you know, fight it with 3 positive things. So, we'll try this again. See if she runs away. You need to make sure that those negative things that are just playing in your mind, that you are putting positive things in there, filling up your cup every single day. Because I promise you, if you aren't filling up your cup, you're going to be real empty, and you're not going to last. And you won't last not only in this business, life's not going to be joyful for you, right? And so that's another thing. Stop chasing balance. Stop chasing happiness. Like, joy is what you all should be going after, and harmony, because joy is not circumstantial. Happiness is circumstantial. And then the other piece to that is there is no such thing as balance. Are you kidding me? Do you see what I'm doing here? Like, on this live call for you guys? This is not balance, but there is a little bit of harmony here, right? We're looking for harmony, not balance. So try to strive for harmony and try to strive for joy. 2 totally different things. Let me see what else I have on here to make sure that I touch. The last thing, right? So some of you are watching this and you are thinking, holy cow, this girl's a hot mess. Right? I am. And some of you are like, oh my gosh, that's my life. That is my life. Oh my gosh, I can totally relate to that girl. And that's the beauty of our business, is that when you can learn, again, what's your story? What is your story? Who are you? Who are you outside of SeneGence? And obviously SeneGence is going to start creating your story, because it absolutely has for me. And I talk about it all the time. But when you can start to embrace your story and your purpose and why you're here, you can then be relatable to people, and people will know, okay, so that pretty selfie she posts every day, that's not really every single day, is it, right? No. You know, that girl that's just always happy all the time on Facebook. You know, a lot of my faces are this, right? Because I want to give that, like, positive vibe away, but do I live that way every single day? No. Right? So you've got to share the struggles along with the successes, and that was part of why I wanted to do this video for you guys. But figuring out this whole business, if you can wrap your head around turning your mess into a message, your trials into triumphs, being a victim to a victor, if you can figure out how you can inspire people, your business will skyrocket. And when you can grasp the concept of, I am not here just to sell cosmetics and you know, skincare to people. I'm here to truly help people change their life. Truly, simply just by being you, because there's only one you. And again, back to the first thing that I said, you know, I struggled so much with success in my last business, and all of a sudden it's like this one is exploding and it's crazy, and I'm forever grateful. And I will just put this out there. Joni has given us the most simplest business with the best products and the most incredible comp plan I have ever seen. Y'all, I could have left my last business for any other direct sales business, and I truly believe I would have been successful. Would I have been as successful as I am with this one? I don't know. I don't know that I would be, you know, have the team that I have, and people would have fallen in love with the products like they all have. And I don't know that I would be making the same money or driving a car or, you know, earning all these crazy trips and everything else. Can't even keep up with jewelry and everything. There's a reason I chose SeneGence, right? And there's a reason you're here. And I want you to figure out, what is that reason? What is your purpose for being in this business? And I want you to know that whatever goals you have with this business, with this company, are absolutely possible. Don't let anyone else make you or tell you otherwise, because you have those gifts and those desires and those dreams in your heart for a reason. And I promise you, you can have them. You have to stay diligent. You have to keep going when it gets hard, and know that everybody's fighting their own battle. Everybody's fighting their own mess, just like me over here, just like the top Sadie Carter and Jalen and Katie Enos, and I could just name all these people who have, you know, like Jenna Clark, like all these people who have these crazy, like, you know, successful, big teams, big money, all of that stuff, right? They are fighting battles just like you. Successful people fail a lot, and that's usually the biggest difference between successful people and not successful people, is that they fail more. So I always say in this business, there's a difference between successful and non-successful. One, successful people have failed a whole lot more than the unsuccessful, because the successful person failed and stood back up and said, I can do this. I can do this, right? And they fail forward. That's my favorite thing to say. Fail forward. Heather, you failed. That's okay, but just fail forward. Don't fall back. Fail forward. The unsuccessful person says, I failed, and they get insecure. They're afraid of what their family's going to say. They're afraid of what their, you know, coworkers are going to say. They just don't whatever, and they give up, right? And then the other piece to it is that you simply haven't been doing it long enough, right? So somebody who's been in the business longer than you, it's not that you're inferior to them or that you can't have what they have or you can't achieve what they've achieved. It's simply you just haven't been doing it long enough. And so it's so easy to look at somebody else and have their success, see their success and want it, and that's okay. But you can't compare your chapter 1 to somebody's chapter 10, right? And so that's one thing that I really want to get across, that, you know, my success wasn't just SeneGence overnight. My success was the past 3.5 years built up to this point of me staying diligent, me showing up, me not giving up on my God-sized dreams, because I truly believe with all of my heart that God put those desires on my heart for a reason, and that He wants to give them to me because He promises that. It's just that those promises were just a little delayed, right? But they weren't denied, and I'm starting to see the fruits of my due diligence. And so stick with it. I promise you, whatever goals you have with this company, you can achieve them. Joni has set us up for like massive success. Just know that you're going to have to fail a whole lot, and you're going to have to stick with it even when you don't want to, right? Showing up to your business is easy when you're feeling good, when you're having a good day. Showing up to your business is hard when you don't feel like it. But that's a differentiator. And then the last thing is, if you can figure out what messes your life and you're going through, the little pieces, right? The story that makes up you and who you are. If you can figure out how to turn your mess into a message for other people, turning your trials into triumphs and inspiring other people, and maybe being that victim in a situation, but showing that you are an overcomer and that you are fighting and that you are a victor, I promise you, your business can explode and you can do so much more in life than simply sell some products to people. You can absolutely change lives. And that's what we're here for. We are here to change our lives and our families' lives and leave a legacy for our own family. And we're also here to inspire other people to know that they too can choose to live life in love and abundance as long as they're willing to work for it. So thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for letting me share my heart. Again, like, this is not like any other video I've ever done. So I hope some piece in there spoke to you. Don't compare to other people. You're here for a reason. You can achieve all you want with this business. And I cannot wait to meet so many of you at Leaders and to see so many of you at Seminar and celebrate all of your successes along the way. And that's my last thing I'm going to leave you with. Celebrate every single success, right? Every single one. It doesn't have to be a crown. It doesn't have to be $1 million team. It doesn't have to be $5,000 in sales. Every single thing along the way. If you did something that scared you, celebrate that, right? If you reached out to somebody that they scared you and intimidated you because you're like, oh, they're gonna think I'm weird for asking them to, like, you know, want to do this with me, then celebrate that, right? If you decided that you were gonna get up early one day and do some personal development before your day got started, because it's not fun getting out of bed before you really want to, right? Celebrate that. Celebrate every single success along the way, because your small successes equal great big successes, all right? I love you all. I can't wait to meet some of you. I can't wait to hug you, Taylor, at Leaders here in a few weeks, and I hope you guys have a really blessed week. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.